General Stanley McChrystal is a four-star general and commander of American forces, coalition forces in Afghanistan. He's credited with transforming U.S. Special Forces into the elite fighting force they are today. He is also the author of a new book, Team of Teams, New Rules of Engagement for a Complex World. And it is certainly a very complex world. General McChrystal, thanks very much for joining us. I had the pleasure of seeing you when you were commander in Afghanistan, even traveling around the country a little bit. So it's nice to see you out of uniform.
It's great to be here. Thanks.
I want to begin with the case of Bowe Bergdahl, Taliban 5, because today that deal is expiring and we're still waiting to hear what the next step will be. But first I want to ask you about Sergeant Bergdahl. You were commander when he was taken. Was he a deserter?
Well, I'd been in command about a month, and when he left his base, we didn't know. We had reason to believe he'd walked off his base, but he could have been a confused young man. And that may still be the ruling, I'm not sure. So we made every effort we could, like we would for your son or daughter, to try to recover him as fast as we could.
Now, if it was determined at the time, and I know that the details were certainly murky then, and to some degree there are still questions today, but if he was a deserter, would that change at all U.S. efforts to rescue him?
It's hard to make that kind of judgment because it would have been impossible to know at the moment if he was a deserter. We were trying to prevent him from being taken into Pakistan where we thought he would fall into the hands of the Haqqanis for two reasons. One, because he's an American citizen and one of ours, a comrade. And second, because he would then become a chip in the power game there, and we were concerned about both of those.
Do you have any concerns about the deal that was made a year ago to trade these 5 senior Taliban leaders for his freedom?
Well, I think if you look going forward, getting back an American soldier was important, particularly until he is adjudicated. It's impossible to say what the cause was. So it was important to get him back. I think now we got to move forward. We got to decide what we deal with. The 5 that are back, presumably they'll go back to the battlefield, but they won't change the dynamics. It's not going to change the balance of effort there, 5 guys. But it's just something we got to watch as we go forward.
But that's an enormous concern. You say presumably they will go back to the fight. First of all, that's an alarming assumption. And yes, there are a number of members of the Taliban, so it won't change, but they're quite senior in the organization. Would that not be a loss? Would that not put U.S. forces in danger there?
I wouldn't make it too important. They were in captivity quite a while. They're not going to go back, I think, to a key operational role. I say presume because you have to assume the worst case in a case like this. We can't have assumed to have changed their thinking in the time they were in our captivity. I mean, any more than we would want an American who had been held by the enemy to change his thinking. So I think we have to presume that their bonds with their old organization are probably going to be pretty strong and just go from there.
And if they do go back, that deal you still think was a good deal to get his freedom?
It's hard to make a judgment on a deal like that. It's an American soldier, and so getting them back to me is a pretty sacred responsibility.
I want to ask you about Iraq. The fight against ISIS is not going well. The map really immutable for the last several months, despite a massive U.S.-led air campaign and a massive advantage among Iraqi and Kurdish forces aligned against the forces of ISIS. You have been very public in saying you need U.S. forces, boots on the ground, to fight this fight and win. Is that what's necessary to turn this around?
Well, what I have actually said is we first need a very clear strategy to deal with ISIS and establish a framework for the region. Because if we don't have a direction of where we're going, where the end state will be, then just defeating ISIS will just be a sort of a meaningless act. Second, we got to recognize what ISIS is, and it's a phenomenon of the 21st century. It's based on some age-old ideas, but as you and I both know, they're operating in a way that's disorienting to organizations of the regions. They've got this incredible tactical ability to combine suicide bombers with pretty flexible tactics on the ground, and this superb information warfare campaign that's very decentralized and makes us all worry about what they're doing. I think we are going to have to show leadership in the region. I think American presence and leadership is going to be critical to build a team of teams against ISIS.
To demonstrate leadership, do you have to commit American forces on the ground?
I think you've got to demonstrate American resolve and leadership. In some cases, it could be Americans on the ground with Iraqi forces, helping leverage them. As you know, one of the things an army in a difficult time like the Iraqi army needs that feel of the cloth of comrades. And I think Americans can be a big part of that. But I don't think thousands and thousands of American forces on the ground to be ground forces, if people would do that, is probably the right move right now.
So you mean, and this is something that General Dempsey and others have raised, the idea of forward deployed advisors. So in other words, military advisors instead of back in the base, they're on the front lines or forward ground controllers. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, it is, because war is about confidence. If you know, when the Iraqis pulled out of Ramadi, there was a military calculus, but in reality, it was much more a loss of confidence. Sometimes just the presence of American advisors with their connection to air power and whatnot can bolster the confidence of leaders and provide additional advice as well.
And confidence seems to be key, because you hear the words of Secretary Ash Carter saying they didn't have the will to fight.
Confidence is everything at every level. It starts having confidence in your leaders all the way up to your national leaders and then in yourselves. And I think that's something that we could potentially help with.